Good evening. This regular meeting of February 9th, 2026 of the Dubuque Community School District Board of Education is called to order. Our mission is to develop world-class learners and citizens of character in a safe and inclusive learning community. Roll call, please.
Bradley.
Here.
Hamel.
Here.
Hinton.
Here.
Jacobitz Kazire.
Here.
Parks.
Here.
Sansi.
Here.
Whitman.
Here.
We are pleased to welcome some Prescott Dolphins from Prescott Elementary School to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hi, my name is Jacob and I am in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Lightning and I'm in 5th grade.
Hey, my name is Ella and I'm in 5th grade. My name's Adeline and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Hudson and I'm in 4th grade.
I pledge
Thank you.
I move the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve this agenda as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting on January 12th and the special meeting on January 30th, 2026 as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting on January 12th and the special meeting on January 30th, 2026 as submitted. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We're pleased to welcome to the podium Principal Chris Nugent from Prescott Elementary School to share with the board what's going well at Prescott.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I have a cold, so it's going to be really brief. There's lots and lots of things going well, and I could go on for a long period of time, but I won't because of my cold. I want to bring out the importance of lifelong learning for the Prescott staff. And not only have we been working really hard on best practice in reading and math instruction to go with our school plan, but we've also been piloting a new program called Teach to Heal, and it is about our social and emotional learning. And this week, we welcome Danielle to our school again to help us learn about emotional regulation, teaching skills to our students that are executive functioning and helping them to be the best learners that they can be. And we're thrilled to have the support of the school district as we pilot and learn these new skills. So thank you very much for having us. And that was the representatives of our kindness crew and our student leadership team. So have a great night.
Thanks, Chris.
At this time, if there's anyone else who would like to address the board, they may do so at this time. We ask that you come to the podium, state your full name, your connection to the district, and that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes using our timer. Please know that Iowa code prevents us from responding, but we are listening. So at this time, anyone who'd like to address the board may come to the podium. All right.
I move that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. That moves us to a few board salutes. I believe there are 2 around the table, and we can start with you, Mr. Hamill.
Thank you. A board salute goes to the Carver Elementary School First Lego League team and their leaders, Mrs. Schmidt and Mrs. Essner, for their outstanding performance at the Iowa First Lego League State Championship held this past weekend at Iowa State University. The Carver team won the first place Robot Design Award for having the best designed robot of the competition. Congratulations to the Carver Cougars on a job well done. We are proud to have such a reputation of excellence across our district's First Lego League and First Tech Challenge robotics teams.
Wonderful.
And I have a board salute. We have the state wrestling for women just finished, so a board salute goes to Hempstead High School's junior, Bella Miller, who was crowned the Iowa Class 2A Girls Wrestling State Champion in the 135-pound weight class this past weekend. The championship was a great finish for Bella's first undefeated season and her second state championship. And she's only a junior, so we get her back next year. No pressure. Congratulations also goes to other girls wrestling state qualifiers from Hempstead. Regional runner-up Mackenzie Ostala, regional runner-up Haley Wiskus, regional championship Morgan Bills, and regional championship Carisi Benson. We're so proud of your accomplishments and are thankful for your outstanding representation of Hempstead and the district.
Amazing. Any other board salutes? All right, thank you very much.
I move the Board of Education approve those items listed on the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda. Is there any item a board member wishes to have pulled? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. That brings us to our Facilities and Support Services Committee report from Dr. Jacobs Kazire.
Okay, excellent. So there are three main things that we spoke about at our Facilities Committee. The first one being our acquisition of new HP computers. The second one being the update on the many projects going on around our district. And the third one briefly about facilities efficiencies. So first we got a detailed report from Kobe Culbertson, the Chief Tech Officer for the district, talking about the HP computers. And so I was actually delighted to learn that we have had a very positive relationship with HP and that Kobe has really fostered not only a financially advantageous relationship for us, but also one where we get all of the support that we need directly from HP. We had a letter that was provided to us from HP Inc., just talking about the special fixed pricing exclusive to the Dubuque Community School District that we've been able to achieve because of this relationship. And I think it shows both the hard work of the folks that are helping us with finances in the district, as well as just good stewardship overall of tax dollars. So that was good to learn that as we continue to update the computers as they're getting to the end of their lifespan, that we've gotten an excellent price and to continue to have a positive relationship with HP. The second thing that we talked about was an update on the multiple district projects going on. We had an update from Nick Rittenberger. So he is our representative working with us from Origin Design. First, he talked a lot about Eisenhower, where they're currently going through a gem addition project. This is in regard to the roof structure, the new deck, and the insulation that's getting ready to go in this week, somewhat based on the weather. There's the Keller roof replacement project that's also going on at this same building. And this involves the metal roof edge between the two parts of the school. And the next phase of this will be able to be worked on in the spring when the weather warms up. There's been a lot going on at Irving Elementary School where we're working on a mechanical remodeling project. You might recall that this involved moving kids around on different levels of the building. So the students were shifted up to the second floor of the building to allow the construction team to put in the ductwork and to replace the windows. new piping and ductwork is being installed this week, I believe. Next, we went over to Hempstead High School talking about the shed replacement, which is just about done. Nick said that this is substantially completed, and the next step will be the seeding of the area around the shed so that it looks nice, and painting of the metal door. With this, we got a letter of substantial completion, and there's the recommendation that we accept the final project and make the last payment needed to Ports and Construction. Good. So next, we talked about Sageville Elementary School and how we're working on the fuel oil tank replacement. We got an update from Mark Lang, who's the manager of buildings and grounds for our district. And this is something that's still in the design phase. I believe that they're meeting this week to talk about this new project involving the fuel oil tank. Next, you might have heard that there's a portion of the retaining wall at the Dalzell Field at Senior High that needs replacement. And so Nick Rittenberger also talked with us about that. It is going out for bid. That bid will be on February 11th. And this project involves removing a portion of the wall and the existing storm piping so that a new storm pipe can go around the part of the damaged wall. This will be rebuilt with inlets added to capture any water runoff and hopefully have minimal disruption to the traffic around there and be a good long-term solution. And then last but not least, we talked a fair amount about Irving Elementary School. So Irving right now is getting ready for the design wrap-up of the roof replacement project, which will be a full tear-off. Nick reviewed the proposed plans, the specifications, the form of contract, and the estimated cost of this Irving roof replacement project. Bids are going to be received on March 11th, and hopefully the work can start around June 8th. This project is estimated to cost about $550,000. There will be a public hearing for this project on May 13th at 5:30 in the boardroom. And as you have seen, the Dubuque Community Schools replace playground equipment when it's due. Irving is the next up for the playground replacement, and we are early in the design phase of this project. So then that led us to a brief conversation about building efficiencies, which you will hear more about in the coming year. Superintendent Hawkins introduced the idea that our district has re-engaged with Envision Architects, who you may remember we worked with over the last couple of years in regard to the bond issue. We're just talking about some of the data internally and what some proposed strategies to increase efficiencies in the district are right now. Early in the phase of this, and as soon as there are ideas that are ready for public to explore and reflect on, she will bring that back to us, and as we have with previous major decisions impacting our staff and our students, this will go out to a committee that involves students all across our district and their families. Yeah, so a little bit nerve-wracking to start talking about that so early in the year, but as you might have seen on the news, the Iowa legislature is hard at work, as are we, and wondering how this might impact our district. We talked a little bit more about quotes for our money that's in the bank, invested. We talked a little bit about whether or not we would engage the budget guarantee that we have used of other years. And of course, Lisa Demmer gave us a detailed report about the recaps for our Pebble and our SAVE dollars. So that's pretty much wrapped up our 40-minute meeting that was held last Monday. Recall, those are open to the public. You can ask any questions of us and we'll work through any problems during those committee meetings, which is always the first Monday of the month. Does anybody have any commentary, or are you ready for some resolutions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I move that the Board of Education approve HP Inc. as the sole source provider for the purchase of client computer equipment and peripherals to be reviewed on an annual basis.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve HP Inc. as the sole source provider for the purchase of client computer equipment and peripherals to be reviewed on an annual basis. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve final acceptance of the Hempstead Football Field Storage Building Project and authorize payment of final project costs to Ports and Construction, Inc. in the amount of $13,443.98 in accordance with the requirements of Iowa law and as more fully outlined in the submitted authorizing resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve final acceptance of the Hempstead Football Field Storage Building Project and authorize payment of final project costs to Ports and Construction Incorporated in the amount of $13,443.98 in accordance with the requirements of Iowa law and as more fully outlined in the submitted authorizing resolution. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education tentatively approve the plans, specification, form of contract, and estimate of total cost of the Irving Elementary School roof replacement project and set the date, time, and location as April 13th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. at the Dubuque Community School District, 2300 Cheney Road, Dubuque, Iowa, for a hearing thereon and further authorize the advertisement for competitive bids.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education tentatively approve the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of total cost for the Irving Elementary School roof replacement project and set the date, time, and location as April 13th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. at the Dubuque Community School District, 2300 Cheney Road, Dubuque, Iowa, for a hearing thereon and further authorize the advertisement for competitive bids. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the resolution to authorize the district to levy property tax fiscal year 2026-2027 for the regular program budget adjustment as allowed under section 257.14 Code of Iowa.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the resolution to authorize the district to levy property tax for fiscal year 2026-2027 for the regular program budget adjustment as allowed under section 257.14 Code of Iowa. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you for that committee report. We'll turn it over to Ms. Bradley for the Educational Programs and Policy Committee report.
Thanks, Dr. Parks. Dr. Jacobitz-Kazire has reported on one of the two board committees that exist. There are two, the Facility and Operations Committee, or Support Services Committee, I'm sorry. We just heard the report on. My report is on the other committee, which is the Educational Programs and Policy Committee. So while we perhaps look like bobbleheads when we come to this meeting and approve, motion, second, and approve, such is not the case at the committee meetings. That's where we roll up our sleeves, we do the debate and discussion, and we hear presentations, we ask lots of questions, and we urge you as community members, as staff members, to come and watch those. You're always welcome to come. The first week of the month, where there's a Monday and a Wednesday in it, is when those meetings are. The Facilities and Support Services Committee is at 4 o'clock on the Monday. The Educational Programs and Policy Committee is at 4:30 on the Wednesday of that week, and both of them meet in this room. So please come, watch the discussion, hear the questions that are asked and the debates and the wonderful presentations that we hear. So I'll give you my summary of the last Educational Programs Policy Committee, which was held on February 4th. And the committee, that group works in 3 sections. The first section is an educational programs, one where we usually hear a fine presentation about one of our educational programs that we're able to sort of put under the microscope and to really learn much more about that program, what it seeks to do, what it accomplishes, what its challenges are. And so such was the case, of course, at this meeting, and we looked at the elementary math curriculum. It's been 7 years now since our math curriculum was reviewed and revised and updated. It's time in our curriculum revision cycle for that to come forward now. Heard a marvelous presentation by Bethany Smith, who is our elementary math coordinator, teacher on special assignment, and our executive director of elementary education, Lisa Feltis. They brought to us first the process map that they followed, where they started by looking at the expected outcomes for students. We call them learning standards. And that's set by the state and the federal government for us to say, what things do students need to learn in math at each grade level? What are the essential outcomes? So they first start by reviewing those, then they take a look at the commercial materials that are available on the market and say, what's the best we can know about these programs so that we can choose the finest one? And that's a very long and very technical process. It involves teachers from every grade level and every school, usually a parent, usually administrators. It is a comprehensive process that brings forward a recommendation. We heard that recommendation about math at our meeting, and the committee has selected the iReady mathematics program that was recommended for adoption for all general and special education students for grades kindergarten through 5th grade, and that would be for the next 7 years. Once that recommendation was made, once the board has approved the expenditure and the program, then it goes out to our classrooms for the remainder of the year for piloting by teachers at every grade level and throughout the buildings, so that we can actually say, was that the right decision? What are we finding? How can we help with the implementation of it in the fall? You can tell I'm a little passionate about that process, having been involved with it over the years. And it looks like a very fine recommendation. It's required to have not only excellent teaching and learning parts and pieces and resources, but also that it meets the requirements of the Math Counts Act under House File 784, which has some very specific requirements for all school districts in terms of their math programs. We were very pleased to see the kinds of resources that are available not only for students, but certainly for teachers as they work with our kids to learn math. And it looks as if the diagnostic assessments with it are also quite excellent. So I think the board was very pleased with the recommendation, and it was approved on the consent agenda earlier in this meeting for the expenditure of $1.175 million, which is a lot of money, but it will deliver through our fine teachers, it will bring our students to a high level of math efficiency that they must have for life. So we're very pleased with that.
So Nancy, if I can just interrupt you.
Yeah, please.
So when you were at the committee meeting, you all talked about how you would like to see how they do some of these math problems and solve those. So Bethany and Angie Breitbach are ready when we have our reporting out February 23rd. So they told me to tell you all to bring your pencils and your erasers. Because you will be doing some math problems at that report out. So I said I would share that tonight.
What
So
grade
we're
level?
gonna see. We're gonna see if you're smarter than a 5th grader, Derek.
Oh, boy. Start practicing your math, board members.
Yeah, really. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That'll take us way
Lisa shared that with
further,
us
yeah.
today, that they've already planned the lesson plan, so we're ready to
That's
go.
excellent.
I thought they were going to bring students. We didn't have to do it.
No, it's for you to do.
Students.
Now we're all trying to figure out who to sit by.
That's right. The next part of our meeting was the strategic plan section. That's where we have topics that relate specifically to our overarching district improvement plan, the strategic plan, and its targets for systemic improvement for our school district. And so we talked under that section about the board's role as advocates for public education. And we received from Superintendent Hawkins and Mike Size, our communications director, some excellent recommendations for how to be effective advocates for public education at the legislative level and within our community, how to help bring parents into, and the community further inside of the process of legislative advocacy for our public school system. So that was a section that I'm pleased to say now we recognize the importance of it, that it will now become a regular standing item on the agenda for the Educational Programs and Policy Committee, and it will be called Legislative Update. So we will explore much more what's happening, where do we need to weigh in, how can we be effective advocates for our kids and our schools. Then we got to our third section, which is the Policy Committee. Every 5 years, all policies of the Dubuque Community School District must be by law reviewed and revised, if appropriate to be revised. So we take a chunk of policies every committee meeting. This time we had policies, again, the revisions were approved in the consent agenda. For your information, the topics that we worked with in terms of the policies for this meeting were what constitutes a quorum for board meetings, what compensation and expense rules and regulations for board members. By the way, we are not compensated. We are elected volunteers, but for expenses related to the work and that sort of thing. We also had an extensive look at student special health services, policies, regulations, and made some good changes in accord with the newest laws and regulations for student health services. Lastly, 2 topics, student activity funds and broadcasting of board meetings. So if that all sounds pretty exciting and you'd like to be a part of the next meeting, come on March 4th, which is a Wednesday, at 4:30 to this room. We'd love to have you. We'll make you feel welcome.
Thank you very much for that report. Appreciate that, Ms. Bradley. That brings us now to new business. I believe there's a motion.
I move that the Board of Education expel student number 1188028740 from attending the Dubuque Community School District.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education expel student number 1188028740 from attending the Dubuque Community School District. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Just a comment that Mr. Hamill was commenting before the meeting. He has not participated in expulsion, so it's been that long since a student has been expelled, which is wonderful. I mean, this is a tragic every time we have to take such an action, but.
Thank you. Next is board member or administrative issues. Anything there? I'm looking at Superintendent Hawkins because she's usually the one who has something. No pressure, but
Well, I have no issues.
fantastic. Great.
I would tell you, we do have a short week this week. So on Friday is our professional development day for all of our staff here in the district. So no school for students, but staff will be busy doing lots of professional learning. So we always look forward to those days and that continued learning, adult learning that Chris was just referring to earlier in her little speech. So otherwise, yeah,
Great.
keep advocating for public schools, keep advocating for more money, right? Those are the things that, I think are important. I appreciate that we had that conversation at the Ed Programs meeting, because I do think, our community and all communities really need to understand what low funding does mean for public schools and what that means for our students. And so the longer we continue to have funding that doesn't equal inflation, the harder it is for us to continue offering the same programming and the same system that we currently have here in the district.
Absolutely. So be sure to reach out to legislators and your networks to do the same and communicate and advocate for public schools in any way that you can.
And if you need help with who to call, who to write, please reach out to me and I'll gladly get you in the right direction for that.
Sure. All right, our next meeting is March 9th, 2026 at 5:30 PM right here in this room. And for tonight, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.